Good morning, everyone. I almost didn't frame this the way I'm about to frame it because what I'm sensing around you right now is so specific, so unusually precise in its detail that I sat with it for a long time before deciding to say it out loud. And the reason I'm saying it now is because you're here, not by accident, not by casual scrolling. Something in you pulled you toward this moment because something in you already knows that what I'm about to describe has your name on it. So stay with me because this one is different. There's a first layer to what I'm feeling around you right now, and it has nothing to do with what's being said. It has everything to do with what hasn't been said yet. There are words, specific words, carefully chosen words, words that have been turned over and examined and rehearsed and abandoned and picked back up again, sitting inside someone like a letter that keeps getting written and never sent. You know the feeling of carrying something like that, something too important to say carelessly, something that changes the shape of everything the moment it leaves your mouth, something that once spoken cannot be unspoken. And so you hold it, you refine it, you wait for the moment that feels equal to the weight of it. That's where someone is right now, in that specific suspended place between holding and releasing, between the last moment of silence and the first moment of truth. And what they're holding is about you, specifically, completely, in a way that doesn't include anyone else. The second layer is about readiness. And this is where it gets interesting because the question of readiness in this moment isn't really about them. They've already decided. Something shifted in them recently, quietly, without announcement. And they crossed a line inside themselves that they're not crossing back. The decision has been made. The words exist. The intention is real. The question of readiness is about you. Uh, and I want to ask you something that I need you to feel into rather than think about. When was the last time you let yourself be fully met by someone? Not partially, not with one foot out the door, not with the part of you that's already preparing for disappointment, running quietly in the background, but fully, completely, without editing your reaction in real time to protect yourself from how much it matters. Because here's what I'm sensing, what's coming toward you, what someone is preparing to say is the kind of thing that requires you to be present for it. Really present, not the managed version of present, not the version where you receive it and immediately start analyzing it and looking for the catch and protecting yourself from how good it feels. The real version, the version where you just let it land. That might be harder than it sounds for someone like you who has learned through specific moments you still remember that openness has a cost. that receiving fully means risking fully, that letting something matter means giving it the power to hurt you. I know, and I'm not going to tell you that fear is wrong. It was never wrong. It was always just protection, reasonable, earned, necessary protection, built in a season that required it. But maybe this isn't that season anymore. The third layer is about the specific nature of what's being prepared for you. And this is the part I want you to hear carefully. Because what someone is about to say to you isn't casual. It isn't something they say to everyone. It isn't even something they've said before. Not like this, not with this weight, not with this level of intention behind it. What they're carrying toward you was assembled specifically for you. It responds to things about you that most people never took the time to notice. Things you maybe stopped expecting anyone to notice. Things you quietly folded away because waiting for them to be seen had started to feel like waiting for something that wasn't coming. It's coming. And the specificity of it, the particular precision of what they've been holding, might surprise you. Not because it's unexpected in the way surprises usually are, but because it's going to land in exactly the right place. The place you didn't think anyone had the map to. The place you protect most carefully. The place that, when something finally reaches it, really reaches it, not just grazes the surface. Your whole body knows the difference. And I want you to be prepared for what that feels like. Because it might not feel the way you expect. It might not feel like joy immediately. The first thing you might feel is something closer to release, like a breath you've been holding for longer than you realized, like a tension in your chest that you'd adapted to so completely. You'd stopped noticing it was there, suddenly letting go. You might feel it behind your eyes before you feel it anywhere else. You might need a moment alone with it before you can respond. And that's okay. That's not weakness. That's what it feels like when something real finally arrives after a long time of almost. The fourth layer, and this one stayed with me the longest, is about what this moment represents beyond the words themselves. Because what someone is preparing to say to you isn't just a declaration, it's a door, a real one, not a revolving door, not a door that opens halfway, a door that, if you choose to walk through it, leads somewhere that the current version of your life doesn't have access to yet. And on the other side of that door is a quality of connection that you've maybe glimpsed before, but never fully inhabited, the kind where you don't have to translate yourself, where the real version of you, not the edited version, not the managed version, is exactly what's wanted, not despite its complexity, because of it. That kind of being wanted is rare. You know, it's rare. You've been in enough situations that weren't it to recognize the shape of what it isn't. And maybe that recognition, that accumulated clarity about what you don't want, what doesn't fit, what costs too much. Maybe that's been the preparation, not punishment, not bad luck, preparation, calibration, the slow, sometimes painful process of becoming someone who knows exactly what they're receiving when the real thing finally arrives. You are that person now. Whatever it took to get here, whatever it cost, you arrived. And the timing of what's approaching is not a coincidence. It matches the person you became, not the person you were when you first started hoping for this. Now, and I want to say this carefully, there's something I need you to understand about your role in this moment because I can feel the question forming. The question that always forms when something good is approaching. What do I need to do? How do I prepare? What's the right way to respond? How do I make sure I don't ruin this? And the answer, the honest, complete answer, is nothing. You don't need to do anything differently. You don't need to position yourself. You don't need to perform receptiveness or engineer the perfect response or figure out the exact right words to say back. The work that brought this to your door has already been done by you in every moment you chose to remain open. When closing would have been easier, in every moment you stayed. When leaving was available, in every moment you kept that quiet, stubborn, almost unreasonable belief that something real was still possible for you. That belief was the work, and it's done. What's left now is just receiving. Simple, quiet, open receiving. Um, I want to give you permission for something before I close. And I mean this genuinely. Permission to let this matter to you. I know you've trained yourself reasonably, intelligently, self protectively to keep your reactions measured, to not let yourself feel things fully until they're confirmed, to hold excitement at arm's length, because excitement has preceded disappointment before, and you remember what that cost you. But I'm asking you, just for this moment, just in the privacy of wherever you are right now, to let yourself feel it, the anticipation, the quiet, rising, almost unbearable sense that something is approaching that you've been waiting for longer than you've admitted to anyone. Let your chest do what it's already trying to do. Let the warmth come. Let the part of you that still believes stop apologizing for believing. Your body already knows. It knew before I said a single word. That's why you're here. That's why this landed the way it's landing. Not because I told you something new, but because I confirmed something you've been quietly carrying and not quite letting yourself trust. Trust it now. Someone is hoping you're ready, not hoping in the casual way, hoping in the way of someone who has been holding something precious and is finally ready to place it in your hands, hoping that your hands are open, hoping that you haven't closed, hoping that whatever distance or silence or time has passed hasn't convinced you that what they feel isn't worth receiving. It is worth receiving, all of it. Every word they've been saving, every feeling they've been refining, every moment of courage it took them to get to the point of saying it. Worth receiving, worth feeling, worth letting matter. Open your hands. It's almost here. And when it arrives, you'll know, every part of you will know, you were always ready for this.